Welcome to Lessons Across Species. I think animals handle mistakes far better than humans do. A cat misses a jump and just tries again. A dog struggles to learn a command and keeps wagging its tail anyway. Humans, on the other hand, can turn one bad moment into a story we carry for years. And honestly, one surgery complication with a pug taught me just how true that was. This week, I got an email from Hay House, and that really stuck with me. It talks about how humans tend to hold on to mistakes far longer than necessary. There was one line that especially hit me. But when something doesn't go the way that I hoped, they don't just notice it, they hang on to it longer than they need to. And I immediately thought, this is exactly how veterinarians think. Honestly, it's how a lot of humans think. We replay things, we obsess over what we should have done differently. One rough moment becomes something much bigger emotionally. And animals really don't seem to do that. If a cat chops onto a countertop and misses, it recalculates and tries it differently next time. It doesn't go hide behind the couch in embarrassment. Dogs are the same way. When they're learning, teaching a dog to sit can actually be pretty funny. Sometimes they have no idea what you're asking. They jump, spin, stare at you blankly, run all over the place. Eventually, they figure it out through repetition and encouragement, but they don't emotionally spiral over it. They don't think, wow, I'm so terrible at learning. They just keep going. And honestly, I envy that sometimes. Years ago, I was doing a surgery on a 6-year-old pug named Charlotte. She needed a femoral head ostectomy. Basically, I was removing the top of the femur because the bone was deteriorating. Everything was routine at first. We prepped carefully, anesthetized her properly, and I started surgery exactly by the book. But during one step, rotating the leg to access the joint, something went very wrong. Blood suddenly sprayed upward, hard enough to hit my surgical light. It was everywhere. For a few seconds, I truly didn't understand what happened. Then instinct kicked in. I started clamping vessels as fast as I could, trying to stop the bleeding. Eventually, I did. Charlotte survived, but afterward, her leg dangled. In trying to save her life, there had been some damage to muscles and vessels. I didn't know whether she would ever fully use that leg again. And mentally, I was wrecked. I replayed that surgery in my mind constantly. What did I miss? What did I do wrong? Could I have prevented this? I posted the case on a surgical discussion board, and a board certified surgeon from the University of Tennessee reached out and wanted to talk. I was terrified. He was going to tell me that I had made some obvious mistake. Instead, he told me the same complication had happened to him during the same surgery on a pug, except his patient died on the table. I remember feeling relief and heartbreak all at the same time. And even though Charlotte survived, that surgery stayed with me for years. I became nervous around surgeries on pugs for a very long time afterwards. I think one of the hardest parts of being human is that we don't just learn from mistakes, we build identities around them. One bad moment becomes evidence that we're failing. One complication becomes proof we're inadequate. And medicine can be especially hard that way because veterinarians care deeply. We want good outcomes. We want to help. So when something goes wrong, we often carry it much longer than people realize. I think pet owners sometimes misunderstand that part. If something goes wrong with your pet, your veterinarian is probably suffering too. Nobody, nobody wants bad outcomes. That case has changed how I practice medicine, not just technically, but emotionally. I'm more honest now about uncertainty and risk, and I understand how vulnerable trust really is between veterinarians and pet owners. But I also try to remind myself that reflection and self punishment are not the same thing. That's still something I work on every single day. Maybe animals understand something we forget. A cat falls and jumps again. A dog misses the cue and keeps trying. Humans tend to turn painful moments into permanent stories about ourselves. And maybe growth is not becoming someone who never makes mistakes. Maybe it's learning how to let a moment stay a moment. This resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and check out the full Lessons Across Species essay link below. I go much deeper into this story and what animals continue to teach me about being human.